Hello, I am Elena, a passionate wildlife photographer and a true lover of the African bush. During numerous self-drive safaris, I explored Africa's breathtaking landscapes and its extraordinary wildlife. Now I'm excited to invite you to join me on my latest adventure through the stunning wilderness of Botswana and Zimbabwe. So far we have visited Moremi Game Reserve in Botswana, Hwange National Park in Zimbabwe, then returned to Botswana to explore Chobe Nogatsa, Chobe Riverfront and Chobe Savuti, followed by the Kwai concession in the Okavango Delta. Now we were heading to Mabuasehube, with a brief stop at Khama Rhino Sanctuary. At the sanctuary we stayed in a chalet near the restaurant. The sanctuary isn't very big. You can do a small or larger loop, but you must visit Malema and Servi pens, where you can spot rhinos, especially at sunset. There are also plenty of birds and other wildlife, such as impalas, zebras and giraffes. I think Khama Rhino Sanctuary is a great place for wildlife photographers, as it's affordable and perfect for practicing photography skills. After visiting Khama Rhino, we drove to Gaborone for some shopping. Although it's Botswana's capital, it has its own charm, especially when you see goats casually wandering around shopping malls like respectable customers. The next day we hit the road to Mabuasehube, passing through Sikoma and Hakea. It is important to refuel in Sikoma, as it is the last fuel station before reaching Mabuasehube, or shortly Mabua. At fuel stations, it's common to see domestic animals roaming around. Finally, we reached our first destination, Loago Pen, where we stayed for 2 nights. Back in 2019, my trip camera captured here a surprising and amazing selfie of a leopard. I had only set up the camera out of curiosity, without expecting anything. We slept just a few meters away in our tent. At that time there was still water at the campsite, but in 2024 the water was completely gone, both at the campsite and the waterhole. As a result, there was very little wildlife in the area. That night I took some nightscape images, and only later, while processing them at home, realized I had captured the comet. The next day we decided to explore Mabuasehube pin and Payatutuwa, or short-limb paya pin. Mabua has only a few roads. You can either drive to Mpaya Pin, visit Kaiding Pin, or return to Manamodi Pin and stop by the gate to check your emails. There was Wi-Fi at the gate. At Mabuasehube Pin, we found fresh lion tracks and followed them. The vast panorama of the pin unfolded before us, but the lions were nowhere to be seen. It seemed they had crossed the pin to the other side. Wild melons along the roads. Although we didn't find lions, we did find wild watermelons and took a few to try. Unfortunately, we couldn't tell which ones were sweet and which were bitter, and of course, we picked the wrong ones. Wild melons, bitter. But for ground squirrel, it's okay. Despite the lack of major sightings, our 2 nights at Leshalaga Pin passed quickly, and we moved to our next campsite, Mpaya 1. Before setting up camp, we checked the bushes carefully. Mpaya 1 was once a popular campsite because it had running water and even a shower, but in 2024 the pipe had a leak and no water reached the site. We set up our tent and enjoyed a siesta. Lions often visit this campsite. Back in 2019, 2 male lions sharpened their claws on a tree just a meter from our tent. We could hear their claws steering into the bark. So, here's our tent, and here is a scratch tree, and you can see that it was scratched. Yeah. 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 In a scratch tree. Luckily, the campsite also had less intimidating visitors, such as a yellow mongoose. It also offered a stunning view of the pen, where springboks and wildebeest were regular visitors. The sunsets were breathtaking. So check out visiting us. Back at the campsite, we had an unexpected visitor. But aside from this, our wildlife encounters during these first 2 nights were underwhelming. Were we only going to see jackals and antelopes, or should we make a wish under the comet for something more? Let's find out in the next episode.